a lesson concerning the sonata in C major, by Haendel for recorder, original piece for alto recorder. Of course, it's a pity that I don't have the accompaniment, the bass, because this piece is a dialogue between melody and bass. It's very difficult to study this piece without bass, because there is like theater, two people that are speaking and making a question and answer. If you study just your part, you will lose this dialogue. But it's a piece that all recorder students study in his musical life, so it's I like very much. It's very interesting. First sentence. This is the Tactus. Please don't follow the eighth, but the quarter. If you follow the eighth, you will make something very mechanical, something very. I think you can play slow as you want, but not the not the eighth, but the quarter. First things, in one breath. Not easy, but it's necessary, in my opinion. I heard people who plays this is too much, but normally people take care after the long high C. I think it's better if you exercise, make an exercise, try to make the sentence in one. As it were without tonguing. I play without tonguing. This is what circa we have to arrive to do, like a singer. Low. Instrument need to make something similar at singer. There is nothing a lot to tell about this first sentence, just the trillo. The trillo begins with a C, like appoggiatura. And then probably not the last note, but the four last notes are more quick. Dum, da, dum. It's just an opinion. Of course, you could do a lot of things. You could do a pair of note, couple. It is possible. Or a symmetric pair. It is possible, but I don't think it's necessary. The same sentence with the same bass, it repeats in the third and the fourth bar. In this case, I think that you have to do something, because it's unusual in Baroque, Rococo music to make two sentences exactly the same. This is not an echo. So it's probably the author thinks that the player will do some ornamentation. You can put some trill, or you can put some note that is not written. with trill or mordente or something. This is possible. Or with gruppetto. Gruppetto is one note and 4 notes after. Or without the first note, that is the note of rhythm, but it is possible also to put some note where there is a certain distance between C and A. You can put a D. Between D and G you can put an F. Between G and B you can put an A. I full each interval, when the notes are distant, but not between second line, between A and C. This is doesn't have a musical significance. Okay, go. And after, it is written but if you see what is written after, this is exactly the same fourth higher from the beginning. So I guess that the first G is longer and the first E is shorter. Not but, and a little French style. The first note more long possible and the second note more short. I prefer to do a trill upon a D instead a trill upon A, because if you follow the harmony you will see that there is an appoggiatura. So the appoggiatura, in my opinion, is part of the trill, and not as without sense, in my opinion, a trill upon A with F. You have two possibilities, many possibilities, but especially two possibilities, to play a little staccato, a little with this expression, or with the same rhythm, with the same speed, but completely legato. It depends where are you playing, in a church, in a room, with which instrument, with which accompaniment. It depends of your taste too. I think that after these two sentences, so legato, so sweet, so a little change is interesting. So there is an important thing, this interval, this jump of seventh is unusual, is very hard, and so you have to insist in this G, lower G. It's difficult to sing these two notes with this distance. Note that I finished the trill when the D began. Ta-ton, ta-ton. I'm counting the eighth in this case. The third bar, ta, ta-ton, ta-ta-ton, ta-ton, is circa the same trill that I do in the second bar. Circa the same. The sentence will repeat in another tonality. It was in G major, now is F major, or something similar. Very interesting, the first bar of the third linear, this agrément. Is an agrément written by the author. This is very, very important. We learn a lot with the agrément, flourishment, written by the author. I guess it is better if you do the D little longer. And F, B, but you have to play F, C, G, because you have to make a trillo. And now, it could be that the new sentence is but you will not find this after, so I'm not so sure that the sentence begins with the E, G. It could be that the sentence is if you see there is two similar, or the sentence could begin with the G. You will see something similar at the end of this linear with the high D. A note that begins in the last part of the bar and continue at the beginning of the second bar. Not only, but you have to follow the complete score when you start this piece, because this G in the second bar make a hard, stark dissonance with the A in the bass. G and A is a stark dissonance. And when you play this G, you have to know that at the end of this G, you have something, a contrast. You have to imagine this, if you are playing with the bass. But because of we did a cadenza, normally people, probably me too, make G, breath, G. I'm not so happy for this solution, but I don't find another one. What is this? This is an appoggiatura double appoggiatura. You have to play a B and you make the note higher and the note lower. C, A, B. So you can learn something. You can do the same things in other plays. This is the double appoggiatura. I have to do a B or Ha, I don't know the English name, C in Italian and French, and I play C, A, B. And then another note that arrive at the beginning of the third bar with a starker dissonance, C, B. This is the starker, harder, because it's a seventh major, very, very unusual. And then this D, that is the same of the G, of the first bar of this linea. There is not even a lot of things to do in this part. Of course, you can make more denti trillo, but I think it's not necessary. I start for the lower D. Did you see in this second bar? It's the same, exactly the same of before. And with the trillo. And now there is two possibilities. It's the same of with the G. You can consider G and D as the AND, okay? Or you can consider, I don't know the English name, a levare. Pom 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 re si re. A levare, re si, D, B. I prefer a levare, D, B, because the bass make the same levare, not the same, but make a levare. So the recorder play pom pom and the bass pom pom, like question and answer. So but after this levare, you cannot make levare because you cannot. It's not a levare an ottava. It's not a levare a third. Because this note, the lower C, is the end of the appoggiatura, and the G is the end of the La, of the A. You cannot play. Okay. This is impossible because the D and the G go together. You cannot play because the A and the G go together. So, I don't know. In my opinion, a sixth D, B is very stark levare. But for what are after, you could think that it's not a levare, but you have to start with the B. It's your choice. I prefer not that we had a G natural and then we had a G sharp because change in the tonality. This is very important. We have to hear very well this G sharp. And the same, we have a natural normal D, and after we have a D sharp. Not this interval of seventh, and after, and after, and after, is the most modern, most hard interval distance that the composer for the 18th century can do. So is a really a great composer, Haendel, because they use things that normally is very difficult to use, is forbidden or not forbidden, but it's not easy to use this interval. I start with the D, B. This is difficult because you have to start. I start with a really A, then I make a fake G, and then a trillo. It's interesting because upon this G you have a natural A, but after you have a flat. This change is a shock. And then we have some pair of notes. Normally in this case we put together the notes that are not the same and we make a big separation between the notes that are the same. So A flat G and then together, then a cut, G, F together, then a cut, and but there is not F, A, but it was like is something that composer use for making some very sad, very deeply sad. I hope my English is okay. This cadenza, normale cadenza with trillo upon the A. And then again F. It is possible that after the F we have to do it is possible. The question is why Haendel didn't write with this rhythm, because it was a use. All people in this period could understand that they have to do tam ta da tam ta da, but it's not obligatory. It's a choose. You can start with what is written and then you can change. I have not a specific idea. I make sometime this and sometime another way. this is the same question. Is it cut between G and D, or is this is the same? Have we to play or this is a good question. I think in this case I will not make a levare, because a fifth is not a stark levare. The better levare are half tone, fourth, and sixth. But fifth and octave are not good levare. As wake, I don't know, fable, I don't know the English name, without force. So I think that I will play note. When I have a long note, sometimes I make mordente, but I make a mordente especially if I have an half tone. It's better the mordente when you are in the position in which you can make an half tone. C, B, C. This is the same. Have we to play? Do we have? Or when I play, this is a possibility, but it's not sure. It could be that you have to make A, and after the trill. I don't like this appoggiatura with after trill, with the repetition of the appoggiatura. A is an appoggiatura of D, and each trill begins with the appoggiatura, So to repeat an appoggiatura, in my opinion, is not a good idea. I prefer, but I'm not sure if it's a good solution. I'm not so sure, it's just my opinion. I start again with the C. And now, this is very interesting. Begin the cadenza, so something, the hand, the free hand of a piece. This is an echo, really an echo. Something repeat in octave tiefer, lower, for making an effect, like something, the voice arriving from another room. It's very important that you do exactly the same. If, for example, you play, you have to do, or what you are doing in the higher part, you have to do it in the tiefer part. And then, note that I play the C different from those you've written, but of this I am sure, because it's unusual the rest dotted with point. So it's in Bach, Haendel, Marcello, you will find this sample. The higher G is 30, 32, I don't know the English name. Yeah, 32esimo. And the lower G has to be the same. The G as the G. Adagio is slower of the Larghetto? Probably not, but the idea is here you have to stop the music and make something long or short. You can make something just with agrément. This is a step, I don't know, with the first note long and with some accelerando. The chord, you have to see the bass, the chord is so or F, E, G, this could be a chord that you can play. E, Fis, E, G. You can play with these three notes, F, Fis, E, and G. But I guess it's just this gum, this legato. Cadenza are normally legato. And the last trill is not a normal trill, it's been very long. Just the last thing that's important in my opinion, don't make quarter short. Not, but possibly, if possible, longer was it's written, but not shorter. You can go over, you can play in the rest, but in this piece no one note that is at the end of a sentence has to be short. Okay, on the next one, bye bye.